Now that's exciting. How are they going to pressure him? How are they going to get past that? Because if they try to take those long-range duels, Zen should rack them up. Where's he going? B site solo. Ooh, he's just going to hold that angle into the upper box halls.
Styko in, sandwich, he spotted a bomb, that's a bomb on the radar, running low on bullets though. Here, but even though they are ranked number 1 G2, there's a lot of their win percentages are in the 50s or low 60s, which isn't as strong as you might expect. So maybe there is weakness to be exploited here by the likes of Godsent. Definitely an underdog in this one. Crystal going deep from his teammate. Spots 3, but goes for the middle player, taken out by the first one. That's a good trade for G2 in an eco round.
Excellent start. KennyS gets his hands on the M4, and that's exactly who you want to have it. He's the only player with armor, but he didn't have a helmet, and he didn't have much HP. So Madden, he shuts down that Ivy play. Nexa dropped to come biting out from behind that train. And just honestly, I feel like that's the tell of the tape when it comes to just KennyS in that last round. Just swarming with the Tech 9, getting aggressive, playing as if he's got nothing to lose. And in the end, they win. A second round for G2. Now we've got that aggression up into the box halls from Zen. He's got the smoke down in front of him and Hunter nearby. But Hunter, ooh, he's gonna start creeping back down this ramp right on the cusp of it. Zen drops the molly. That's gonna prevent any T from going for this peak, but the CTs are everywhere, James. They've taken tons of control inside of T-Con and Ladder, and Farley may be faced with the 2 Ts at Ivy pretty damn soon.
I love that. Rising aggression from Godsent. It's like they were offended that G2 won a round. And that smoke at the beginning of the round on B is really tricky for the Ts to deal with because it's a one-way for the CTs who can hide behind it, look over it, do all kinds of nonsense. So it really slows things down towards B. And if you're investing extra men around the A-bomb site to get aggressive in main and so on, then that certainly helps stop a reaction on the other side of things from G2. Have a HE over the top from Crystal in case grenades are being lined up towards the B bomb site, but we can see that there are 3 players creeping up Ivy for G2.
It's going to be pressure for Farley. Smoke in front of him fades. Luckily for him, he has that insurance policy of his 2 teammates. He knows he doesn't have to turn attention. Each of these CTs has a job to do, and Styko has already started his off well. Molotov, flashbang, nothing really disrupting Farley here. He drops that second shot, but he connected the first. And Nexa, he finds the angle over top of Styko, who inside of the smoke now swipes them back.
This round, Kenny had 5 times the frags of any of his teammates. He had 10 and Jax had 2, or Nexa, one of the 2 of them. So they're really struggling to get anything done, and maybe we'll see some more faster plays than barrage of flashbangs into this A bomb site. Hunter's gonna have to run through some Molotovs. He'll make his way towards Sandwich. He's been heard by Evox though. That clipping will be heard, and Maiden will raise the alarm. Get some sprays through that smoke. There could be a lot from it. Like, you got Styko, this is outrageous. He's got an auto shotgun in the middle of the A bomb site.
Yeah, playing inside of the smokes. I feel like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, people were so offended on the
Oh,
street.
they were angry. And I used to use the inverted T, where the line that was missing was the bottom one.
Oh wow.
Instead of the top. Yeah.
That's very special.
We really got specific back in the day, but I too have changed, so it's nice to know that we're new men, new and improved, hopefully.
Jax with a quick gamble into the ladder position. CT's got popped in ahead. In the meantime, we've got G2 heading towards that B bomb site where 2 players await. Godsent with aggressive enough positions on the A bomb site to invest a second player into B. And here come the mollies. One goes behind the sidewalk to stop the peek at the back from the CTs. Zen is completely blind. Triple molly, but the molly on the side actually stops the T's of G2 from advancing. Armac again trying to take that aggressive angle, and now Zen comfortably sit in this position. Previously mollied off. Now, G2 are not going to be able to make inroads towards the other side of this bomb train site. They will have a plant bomb, so that's got to be their worst case scenario. Plant bomb. Second target's got to be damaged. They'll do 1. They'll get 1 kill out of it, so not all in the world, but really I think they've got to focus on their own opportunities at this point. And still, they've kept Godsent, they've kept their money reasonable, it has to be said.
Pick Farley being elusive, always elusive with his sniper. And if we want to talk about KennyS on the top of the scoreboard for G2, then we've got to take a bit of a moment to note that Madden and Farley, that's the 2-man wombo combo that's currently working oh so well for Godsent. Farley, Z, and watching T-Con, but there's nobody in there. This is going to be that split onto the A site by the looks of it through ladder room and Ivy. If they can get the 2 players into each of those positions, then the bomb will eventually trail out T-Con. But first, you'd want to get Zen out of box halls so that the probability of a ladder flank is oh so low. Zen, he drops his utility here as Kenny S is looking for this pick on Ivy. If they could get a kill, if they could get that 5 versus 4 before the inevitable A crunch, that would be the best case scenario. But Godsent always doing such a good job of minimizing their losses.
Zen's done a great job of just wasting time on that B-bomb site. Again, he's behind that smoke. After the smoke does the molly, is the HG up top. G2 had to spend time going to clear that just to make sure that the threat of them going B was real. It looks like it will be a split of the bomb site. At least one makes his way down towards ladder. Just one sound cue as Nexa bails once he realizes it's clear, but Maiden's going for a cheeky play straight in the dome, and now there are issues, but Nexa's going to make his way down, so he knows this is still viable. Grenade starts streaming to the same bomb site. The 4th player rotates and blocks it. We've got Farley making his way onto the site. Crystal playing from hell. He's taken out. 28 seconds on the clock. 3 versus 2. He's on the back to game of train.
Same time, all picking up a kill, and without that crunch, it seems like Godsent have their number. It's a 9th round for the CT side. G2 maybe looking to just expedite the process here. Flashbangs and utility throwing over on the A site. This gets the response from Godsent in the form of smokes and nades, but they're also going to go for the Ivy peak, and that's huge information if Crystal keeps going. A frag off the wall could soften them up. It goes a little bit past. He is committed to this gunfight, and he goes down without an answer. Man advantage for G2, and they've got players on this A site. Hunter caught out by Styko. His position inside ladder room could be huge, and it doesn't help G2 that Aminek's team killing.
Apart from, oh god, Nexa was the only man in position, but they've lost position elsewhere. Rotating back towards main, and that's going to get taken out. Styko's timing has been impeccable in some little duels across this round. He was in ladder, he ran from one side to the other, didn't stop dead where he could be shot, but because he doesn't know what is before him. So he runs past as he's pulling his smoke out, gets the information, then re-peeks as his opponent pulled a grenade out. Catches Armanek off guard there as well, so nice job staying alive. There's a lot of little things happening. Jack's now in a 1 versus 4 with 3 more to go. He still has to collect the bomb as well. He's coming in from the back end present. Again, him and Armanek together with 3 kills in 12 rounds. It's a really rough T-side for them thus far.
You know, Styko normally a star for Godsent in the sense that he's really kind of recreated himself as a player in this lineup. That's really exciting to watch, but Train specifically is not one of his better maps. He's generally about 0.20 across all stats, lower than his averages on all maps. So for him to be peeling apart their plays on that A site, it's a good showing for Godsent. It's a good showing through and through, really. Everything just going well. What's up?
Oh, the damage. I was expecting just absolutely colossal damage. There was a nice chunk on Nexa. Godsent, we've just seen some really nice strats from them at the beginning of this round. The initial molly from Styko into main, the second molly to back up the double HEs, taking all the nooks and crannies out from the main position. And still they've got at least 2 players towards this B bomb site to deal with the rotation as well. Clay pigeon shooting for Farley as he takes one out of the sky. 2 more to go. And he's going to get tagged down to 22 HP. But he's not going to have the highlights we saw rounds prior. It is still just 2 rounds to G2 as they get dissected. Like pulling legs off a spider in a school playground for Godsent.
You know, round 8 and round 9 came down to the 2vx situations. They had bomb plants, etc. And now that's slipping away. Godsent right back in full control of the situation. Wild antics. It's full round loss bonus for G2 Esports. Full-fledged purchase here in the 14th round, and they've got an opening. They have a 5 versus 4. Nexa's absolutely going to make the most of this. A second kill starts to come out. Maybe G2 have begun to unravel this domination of a CT side.
Bomb,
but Styko, look. He's just outside of T-Con, and it's like the the procedure wasn't in place for that to unfold, but Nexa realizes the strength of his opening pick in the upper B halls and then just wants to storm that B site. You know, sometimes you're not prepared for something, but when you got the opening, you just gotta throw yourself in it. You just gotta jump right out the window, and they did exactly that. To their avail, a 3rd round. It's minimal, but it's at least a little bit. And if they could close with a 4th, all the better. Nice grenade damage here to start the round.
and an instant rotation afterwards, perhaps trying to draw more focus towards this IV position with the damage done to some players. There'll be the low health players with the AWP can see Maiden grabs and that all makes sense. And you can see from the way Godsent have been playing that comms have been really calm and clear for them. Generally speaking, if you're on the high ground toward B, for example, you take a shot with the AWP, you want to throw a molly on the lower area as you run back. But we saw some discipline there. We saw a teammate throwing it from connector and so on. So lots of indications which may suggest that they haven't really felt too much pressure just yet. And we are in this last round now as Hunter is teasing to show some feet. People will pay for that, but not Godsent. They're going to punish them for their insolence. Still a man advantages. G2 try to make their way onto a bomb plant.
Smoke's pluming in their faces. Styko getting dangerously close to this flank as well. Nexa's going to go try to check it, but he loses his head. From bad to worse, with bomb down in the upper halls still. They've got the bomb site, but the CTs aren't going to give them any further frags. Jax, oh, he gets. I've seen old pictures of you with Dana White, if I'm not mistaken.
Very early days. Yeah, I've met him a few times actually.
Very cool.
I give my call. I called my friend and gave him the phone. He's like, "Hi, this is the president of the UFC." And man's like, "What?" He knew it was him as well. You can't like impersonate Dana. I can't anyway. But here we go. We got the foresight from Godsent, who that round was like the definition of capitulation for me. But I mean, here we are. We've got the Galils out and the AK-47s as well. Of course, we had the simple round that was won by G2 prior. They'll keep their SMGs and so on. This is really opportunity lost in two parts. Round 1 and 2. Oh dear, this is very unfortunate. But the problem is keeping your mind focused. You know, I mean, everyone's been here before. They've had a great advantage and they've nosed it right up, as we would say in London. But so hopefully they're able to cope with that. It's psychological warfare now. Maybe they are their own enemy. It's a good start though.
Definitely a good one for Zen to pick up there off the side of Ivy. That kind of creates a hole in the back line of G2's defense. They're going to try to fix that by moving Nexa through CT spawn back around it, so he knows that at least the spawn's not compromised. But they all come out of T-Con. 40 seconds up. Molotov starting to burst over towards the connector. Farley with a headshot onto Hunter. So now it's a double man advantage. But Godsent still so timid in getting this bomb on site. Styko's looking to create that space, and he knows where the next man's at. So this is going incredibly well. Despite it initially looking like Godsent were giving too much respect to G2, they just best all the SMGs and heads-up gun duels. Not a single death versus Godsent here in the 18th round.
That is a great DP. AWP in the flashbang. They've got good utility on the squad for the most part. They've got enough to make an aggressive play somewhere if they feel they need to do that. We've got Armanex making his way towards Ladder very quickly. Nexa alone towards B. Got two CTs around that IV area. There are two players creeping and Farley and Zen.
Ivy was the position whereby the first player died last round. So, you know, Jax is going to have to keep his guard up. Better equipped for the situation now in terms of weaponry, but the utility is already so non-existent. Ooh, eats the flash. That could have coupled nicely with a push, but there's no peeks just yet. Godsent again, playing reserved. Playing reserved.
That's an interesting nuisance smoke up the ladder. Maybe part of the idea is to thwart the lineups of your opponent, throwing grenades into the A-bomb site. Kind of like when people spray the toilet sign on overpass, so they can't use the WC lineups. I would assume that's what the grenade is for, but also a nuisance if people are trying to get down the ladder. Okay, we've got some long lineups into the A-bomb site, but 38 seconds on the clock. Oh, we've got a creep actually. Zen's made his way into through Ivy, and Jax is blind as a smoke up at the same time, so they have no idea where he is. But how many times they get from it? He's seen Hunter running, he forces his hand. No idea what's going on towards Hell though. That's going to be very important because the bomb has to cross. Madden's going to win that frag. That's so important. Now they've got to control Ivy one way or another, and Ladder in a go down 6 more across the board. Cause them some trouble.
This is it. Everything on the line for G2 on their map choice, as you said. This is a high-pressure situation. And Godsent, they showed up to play today. Immediately out onto the A site is Styko, finding the headshot onto Armanex. So he is already starting to pull apart what could be the final gun round for G2. Jax getting caught on an exploratory mission through the Ivy side. Hunter, he's got some sort of an answer, but he's already been enveloped by Styko, who just swoops through the entirety of this A bomb site. He's already back behind enemy lines, looking to cut off Nexa, who probably at this point just wants to save one rifle, give something of a chance in that final round, what could be the final round in the 22nd. This is ridiculous. I thought Godsent were going to be giving us a good showing today. I expected them to definitely make some waves, but this convincing of a victory on their opponent's map choice. I don't know who put in the work. I don't know if Devil Walk has been up all night just reading anti.
So it's been a bumpy ride for both. And again, looking at the map pool series for G2 and the form that Godsent appeared to be in, this looks like pretty murky waters for him. And it's a pretty dodgy buy here as well. No shining AWP for Kanius. He's on the M4. He's got SMGs galore for G2. But now we're finally getting that aggression as they put players into that connector position. But Armanex in the red, and he's not going to last very long at all, is he? Expiry date has arrived early, it seems.
Just getting moldy now at this point. Madden, he even catches Hunter, who was just looking to walk back. He got caught in a flurry of utility. He had lost a bunch of health. And he just thought maybe he would get a second chance at life. But no, struck down on his retreat. Kenny, yes, he's going to get flashed in. He's trying to find his equalizing kill, but it just goes from bad to worse. Unless G2 can pull out the 2 versus 5 between Nexa and Jax, this first map is over.